Hello everyone, welcome to another Manny Explains. Today we're going to talk all about the Imperial Knight Magaera and why it's so good right now. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, notifications bell in the corner over there so you know each time we release one of these videos. Right, so the Imperial Knight Magaera. You're probably all wondering, what is a Magaera? If you've never heard of one before, well, it is a Forge World specific knight. You can only buy it from Forge World. It is awesome right now, and I'm going to run you through the reasons why. So first of all, let's talk about the survivability of it. It's toughness 8 with 24 wounds and a 3+ save. It is the same as a Questoris class knight. So if you compare it to a Crusader, it's the same toughness as one of those. But it has an ionic flare shield, meaning that it has a 5+ invulnerable save. But that's it. It doesn't say this model has a 5+ invulnerable save against ranged attacks like a normal shield on any normal knight. It says this model has a 5+ invulnerable save, full stop. So it gets it against ranged weapons, but also against melee attacks, which is amazing because you could use a 1 CP strat called Rotate Ion Shields, and that will give you +1 to your invulnerable saves. You can use that in the shoot phase for a 4-up invulnerable, and you can also use that in the fight phase to get a 4-up invulnerable against melee attacks, and that's one of the weaknesses of normal knights. So that's what makes it so good survivability-wise, because the kind of units, if you think about it in the game, which will be like Sisters Repentia, or like Thunderhammer units and stuff like that, that are actually going to go in and kill knights. It's mainly done in combat. That's the most reliable way of killing them because all of those kind of units are -3 or -4 AP. Now, a normal knight would either get a 6-up armor save against those attacks or would not get a save at all, which is pretty poor. But this can have a 4-up invulnerable save and negate half of the damage any other knight would take. So for that reason, it's a lot tougher than normal knights, in my opinion. Then you've got like the damage output of it, and the damage output can be insane. So the first thing to realize is it's got Imperial prey sight. I'll say that now because some of the AP of the weapons might not seem great, but it ignores cover. So that's what that ability does, is it ignores the benefits of cover. So your opponent will not get the +1 to their saving throw for standing on cover. Then it has a lightning cannon. Now the lightning cannon profile I think is wicked. It's got a range of 48 inches. It is strength 7, -2 AP and flat 3 damage. That's right, flat 3 damage. It also has 8 shots. And it's got a rule which is similar to the Necron Tesla rule, where each time you roll a modified hit roll of a 6, you get 2 additional hits. Not 2 hits instead of 1, but 3 hits instead of 1 for every 6 you roll, which I think is incredible. So averagely on 8 shots, you should get 8 hits because you should roll a 1 and a 2 maybe, but you should get a 6 somewhere, so you'd get 8 hits. But you make it even more reliable because you take it as House Crast. The reason why you take it as House Crast is the first knight warlord trait, which is Crast specific, is brilliant on it because it gives you reroll 1s to hit. Now imagine that you've got an 8-shot cannon, you rolled a 1 and a 2 and you've got 6 of the hit. So you've got 8 hits in total so far, then you reroll your 1. So you're averaging 9 or 10 hits. From an 8-shot weapon, you're averaging 9 or 10 hits, and it's flat 3 damage. So that's already great as it is, but on top of that, you can put a Headsman's Mark on it, which is also the Crast-specific relic. And what that does is against vehicles with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more, you get +1 damage. So this lightning cannon becomes flat 4 damage. And if you target a Titanic unit, then your weapons get +2 damage, and it's a whopping 5 damage just on your standard weapon. I think that's great. On top of that, it has a plasma fusel, which is a 24-inch range, strength 7 -3 2 damage, but rapid fire 2 weapon. So it's like a small plasma. But if you get up close, it's got 4 shots, strength 7 -3, but also that's flat 3 damage against vehicles, and it's flat 4 against Titanic. So even if one of your little plasma shots goes through, which it's -3, so it quite well could, it'll just take 4 wounds off something, which I think is insane too. On top of that, it has a Hecaton Siege Claw with a built-in twin Rad Cleanser. Now the twin Rad Cleanser has 2d6 shots, automatically hits the target with a 12-inch range, so it's a flamer basically. It's AP 0 but it's flat 3 damage, and it always wounds on 2+ unless it targets a vehicle. So that's amazing, because you can walk up to the kind of units people are holding objectives with at the moment, like these annoying 3-wound units like Scorpic Destroyers, Eradicators, Heavy Intercessors, stuff like that. And basically you wound them on 2+. Yes, they get their normal save, but they don't benefit from cover. And then they just take flat 3 damage for each one they fail. It's just a nice thing to have built into your combat weapon. It's like a free gun. Then you've got the Hecaton Siege Claw, which is Strength 8, -2, flat 3 damage on its sweep profile, and you're basically always going to use that. It's the same as Titanic Feet. The only difference is, instead of being D3 damage, it's flat 3 damage, and it still makes 3 hit rolls for each attack with this weapon. So you get 12 attacks, and your Strength 8, -2, flat 3 damage. Might not seem like anything special, but then you've got to remember that your knight is crassed. So you've got the Cold Fury Household Tradition, meaning that you can reroll all hit rolls in combat. And you also have the stratagem Controlled Aggression, where 6s are 2 hits, not 1. So basically, you've got 12 attacks, you're hitting on 3s with full rerolls, and every 6 is an additional hit. So you should average 14 to 15 hits with this weapon, a Strength 8, -2, flat 3 damage. So you're going to be killing a load of stuff with shooting, a load of stuff in combat. You're really resilient, and if you put the Warlord trait and the Relic and use the stratagem all for Crast, it makes you 10 times better than any other household tradition. So that is why the Magaera is doing so well. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you tool your Magaera up any differently to this video, please leave your combo in the comments below for everybody to share. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.